Welcome back to Rumi Gold, where quiet mastery begins. What if wealth wasn't a finish line, but the silence before the sun comes up? What if your next breakthrough was the next breath you let go? What if the game was never about stacking more, but setting down what doesn't serve you? What if your truest power is how unhurried you can live in a hurried world? And what if you remembered, money comes to presence, not pressure? Today we explore manifest money without hustle. 3 daily rituals of a modern monk. Not as a tactic, but as a truth. Take a moment. Where in your life do you wake up already behind? Who told you there was a clock to beat? When did the room get this loud inside your own head? You know it. That quiet tension under your ribs, like you're missing something you're supposed to chase, like you have to get up earlier, run faster, be more clever. That's what the world sells. But under all that noise, there's another current. Most of us don't even notice it until something breaks. A day where the money runs out, the effort feels pointless, or the mirror won't lie to you anymore. When I think back, I remember mornings where I stared out at the street before dawn, my phone off, the apartment silent, and for a moment, nothing needed to move. There were no coins to count, no goals calling my name. There was only the hum of the heater, the slow waking of the city. In that stillness, I felt a strange truth. The less I tried to grab, the more I could really hold. Let that land. You already feel it. The old way is always hungry, never fed. It's the need to add, multiply, consume. But the new way, it holds space. It attracts, it doesn't chase. It listens for what wants to stay, and it trusts what's real can't be rushed. There's something here. Stay with it. Let's get honest. Most of us have been taught to treat wealth like a race, always running, always reaching. There's this silent rule: do more, faster. And maybe, just maybe, you'll catch enough. But have you ever noticed, does it slip right through your fingers, no matter how hard you grip? That's not just in your head, it's in your body, it's in your breath. When you're in a panic state, your nervous system broadcasts the same message over and over. Not enough, not enough, there must be more. So you run, answer one more email, take one more call, say yes to the next thing, because what if this is the one? The body thinks it's building, but it's just bracing. This isn't about motivation. Here's the blind spot: money is not earned through tension. Hustle is just a leaky cup. No matter how fast you pour, you lose it through all the small tears you refuse to see. Let that land. Imagine a craftsman in his workshop. Is he frantic, darting from tool to tool, sweat on his brow? Or do his movements slow as the piece nears completion? Quiet hands, sure sight, he listens more than he acts. The wood bends because he's not in a hurry to force it. That's alignment where less becomes more. That's the discipline. But we confuse movement with progress. We worship the busy, and then wonder why we wake up tired. We make the sale, but not the silence. Grow revenue while our joy shrinks. You already know this. Even as you chase, something inside you whispers, it's not the way. Let's sharpen it. Do you build wealth like stacking bricks, sturdy, level, quiet? Or do you shovel sand in a windstorm, frantic, hoping something sticks? Every anxious thought, every rushed decision tells life the same thing: I don't believe it will hold. More effort does not patch what is leaking from within. When your mind moves faster than your breath, you build on shaky ground. Let that echo. Money is energy. Energy flows toward calm hands, not desperation. And the moment you catch yourself, no blame, just seeing the old spell breaks. Awareness is the start. Alignment is the shift. Quiet wealth is built brick by brick, presence by presence. Each day, there's nothing to prove. Most people start their day already in debt, not of money, but attention. Before you even stand up, your phone's telling you who you are. The news cycle spins, your inbox fills, and in 100 silent ways, you're handed someone else's urgency. But what would it feel like to begin your day untouched? Before the world gets a grip on you, could real wealth be as quiet as those first 5 minutes, alone, with your own breath? There's a reason the old ways always started with stillness, not performance, not planning, but presence. The richest men I know, they have this in common. Before the deals, before the emails, before even the caffeine, a moment to drop in, to anchor deep, as if they're tuning the instrument of their own life. You can almost see it in their eyes. Not hurried, not reaching, capable of choosing how the day will unfold, instead of being bent by it. Try this, right now, even as you listen. Sit back in your chair, place your palms on your thighs, close your eyes if you can. Breathe in slow through your nose for a count of 4. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale smooth through the mouth. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, in 4. Hold 4, out 6. Feel your spine heavy. Picture roots extending from your base into the quiet dark of the earth. For 5 minutes, practice owning your calm. That's it. No fireworks, no affirmation wallpaper. Just stability you can feel under your hands. There's a client I work with. She used to check her phone before her feet hit the ground. Her first thoughts belonged to somebody else's crisis. But when she guarded that morning breath, her revenue doubled in a quarter, not because she tried harder, but because she leaked less energy. Let that land. The archer doesn't rush the arrow. He waits for the body to settle, for the hand to steady, for vision to become one line. Your morning is that tension. Set it with patience, and the entire day moves on your string, not someone else's. It isn't about fighting for control. It's about remembering where it begins. 5 minutes of grounding shifts the rest. It sounds simple. It is. That's the discipline. Every ritual gains value if you stand at the center first. Every email, every call, every demand feels different when it meets a man grounded in himself. You already know this. There's nothing to prove. Each sunrise offers a single opportunity to be the cause, not the effect. To build wealth, real wealth, from clarity, not reaction. Tune your mornings. Anchor your rhythm. Let the world wait until you're ready. That's how you hold it, quietly, firmly, fully. What if your reality with money doesn't begin with the numbers? What if every cent you see is echoing your silent story most? And what if a man's ledger has less to do with what's in his pocket and more to do with what he's willing to notice? Let's stay here a minute. Most are taught to count bills and forget the hands that carry them. But the real shift, what no one says out loud, isn't a strategy. It's what happens when you take 3 breaths, sit at a table, and finally put the invisible on the page. Not on a spreadsheet to impress, but in a way that feels like standing barefoot on the kitchen floor. Morning silence. Pen dragging across old receipts, pressing the day's small facts into reality. Money journaling isn't about hunting your windfalls. It's the quiet work of naming what came in. Yes, even the dollar you found at the gas pump, the refund that arrived when you forgot, the favor a friend did without hesitation, covering your ticket, picking up the tab. Maybe you think it's too small to count, but when you notice it, you shift. You begin, quietly, to train your mind to catch what's true, not just what's missing. That's what changes a man. If you ever sit there and can't find a cent to write, don't force it. Name what's here instead. Maybe today the only thing that arrived was a bill you managed to pay. Maybe your prompt is, I kept the lights on, or I filled the gas tank and didn't overdraw. Maybe today you write, I showed up for work and my chair was still there. You don't need to fake abundance. You just need to tell the truth, even when it feels thin. Let's sit with that. Financial gratitude isn't a trick. You can hold an empty cup and say, at least I have water. Or you can just breathe and know, my hands are steady, and that is enough for today. Sometimes, the journal is just this. I am learning to see what's here, even if it's only the quiet. When you imagine incoming right as if it's a stone path unfolding, one step at a time. Not leaps, not fantasies. Just the next client inviting you, or a new project knocking easy, or a job you thought closed now opening wide. Neville Goddard called it living in the end, but in practice, it's writing. Ever notice how, right before you take that next step with money, everything in you shrinks a little? Maybe it's the pause before you hit send on an invoice. Maybe it's the tightness you feel before making the call. Before you quote your real price, not just the easy one. Sometimes it feels like every wealth decision carries its own weather system. You step up, and a cloud moves in. You say you want to move forward, and the body has its own language. Jaw locked, shoulders tensed, stomach pulled tight like a fist in your gut. We could pretend it's just nerves, or you could see. Resistance is real. It isn't an idea. It's what lives in your chest, in your breath, and it never hides well for long. So here's the simplest tool I use. Not a big ritual, just a short interruption. Shut your eyes, few can. Breathe in through your nose for 4 slow counts. Feel the air move, deliberate and steady, like water pulled up from a well. Hold for 4, no force, just enough time for the air to remind you you're still here. Then exhale through your mouth, longer now. 8 counts with a full, heavy sigh. But don't just blow out air. As you exhale, picture something leaving you. Tension, heaviness, that crowded what-if story in your mind. See it as a cloud, dark, almost visible, slipping out of your body, drifting further away each cycle. Do it again, 3 times, 5 times more if needed. It doesn't have to be dramatic to be true. Most men I know don't mention it, but I've watched a seasoned consultant stall on quoting his fee, shoulders hunched. He tried to talk through it, didn't work. 2 minutes of this breath work, and he was back. Voice deeper, gaze steady. They said yes. I've done it before, sending out invoices that shift from holding in to letting out. Every exhale, a small release. Sometimes I imagine the whole invoice and my worry flowing away with each breath. Payments come faster, cleaner. It's not magic, but the body knows openness draws the world in while tension chokes it off. Maybe this is what clarity sounds like. That's the discipline. So now you've seen the 3 rituals unfold. But it isn't about stacking routines or adding noise to your morning. It's the opposite. One simple pause before the world asks for you. When you close your eyes, let your feet touch the ground and remind yourself, today, my energy isn't to be scattered. Today, I anchor. Presence always beats reaction. You sit for a breath before you stand for the day. That's where it starts. Then, the quiet act 2, open a notebook and let your money thoughts spill like water. No shame, no story. You write what you have, what you're building, what feels blocked. You're not hunting for motivation. You're tuning your mind to notice gratitude where you forgot to look, clarity where there was fog, the strange way income comes from angles you didn't expect. Your wealth grows as you observe it. It's not glamorous, but it's honest, and honesty is magnetic. Maybe you sit at your desk, feel the tension build. That's where the third ritual moves in. Breath as a tool, not just for calm, but for clearing. You exhale what drags you down. You inhale enoughness. The blocks soften. Your shoulders drop. Action gets light again. You already know this. Let that land. True abundance isn't about doing more. It's about coming back to yourself again and again. No striving, just returning. You hold the line steady, so real opportunities can meet you. That's the discipline. You can take just one of these and watch your life start to soften, then strengthen. You don't need perfect. You need consistency, a conversation between your quiet self and the world outside. With time, steady as stone, both economies change, the one in your bank and the one in your bones. I stand where I am. I stand where I am. I honor the work, not the rush. I honor the work, not the rush. I move with purpose, not panic. I move with purpose, not panic. I let enoughness speak. I let enoughness speak. I breathe out scarcity. I breathe out scarcity. I invest attention with care. I invest attention with care. I amplify gratitude quietly. I amplify gratitude quietly. I build wealth from within. I build wealth from within. I lead from clarity. I lead from clarity. I lead from clarity. And now, just before the day brightens, imagine your hands open on your lap. The room still the first, light edging through the window. This is quiet prosperity. It begins here.